We are going to begin today on our back. So when you're ready, just have that strap handy. Maybe you already create that loop if you know you enjoy having that little loop, but you'll just place the soles of the feet if that's comfortable for you on the mat with the knees bent, or if you prefer long leg, it's whatever's most comfortable for you. Relax the back as best to your abilities on the mat. Let your hands either rest to the sides, palms up or down, or even your palms resting at your abdomen. Take a big giant breath in through your nose, feeling your abdomen expand with the hands lifting up. And then exhale, decompress, let the belly fall back down into space. Inhaling through your nose, your belly will grow and expand, the ribs open up as well. And then you'll exhale, cleansing breath out, release it from the mouth. And one more big giant cleansing breath in through the nose. And exhale to sigh that breath out. Taking your tongue, lick your lips, seal them to one another, and then start breathing in and out of your nose. As you begin breathing in and out of your nose, you can walk your feet a little further apart from the mat so that your knees kiss and rest towards one another. So there's an internal rotation of the hips. If it feels good to wiggle the body side to side, you can, until you can allow the thighs, the inner thighs, the knees, and the external rotation to feel more comfortable in your body. Again, your hands can be anywhere it's comfy, or they can rest to your sides if you prefer. And then begin observing the sound of your breath as you inhale and exhale from the nostrils. That slight constriction, the back of the throat, as you drag that breath back and forth. Let everything become heavy on the mat. Do your best not to have any contraction within any muscle. If something feels uncomfortable, change it, and then come back to that breath. As you return back to your breath, allow the back and the arms to settle into the place where they're resting. Just a couple more inhales here, letting the body get heavy and comfortable. Allowing all worries that are unnecessary for your higher purpose to be released, to be diminished from your mind. And when you're ready, take a full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, release and sigh that breath out. Wiggling your fingers, a couple of circles with your wrist in each direction. Let the palms rest to your side. Begin to heel toe your feet a little bit towards comfort, and then begin to rock those legs right side to left side. If you feel like letting the knees rest to one direction, then that's perfectly fine. But if you prefer that continuous movement, then just allow those legs to go back and forth. If you did allow the knees to rest to one side, just give yourself permission to allow them to rest to the opposite side. And then finalizing where you're at, just a couple more rocks back and forth. Find that stillness or that tall spine as you align your back once more. Allow the knees to come close to one another. And as you take your next breath in, extend and lift that right leg up towards the sky, bending the knee, wrap your hands around the hamstring. And then from here, extend and straighten that left leg nice and long. A couple of ankle swirls with your right ankle in each direction. And then taking that strap, you'll place it around the ball of the foot and not the arch of your foot. You'll inhale, extend, and lengthen this right leg up towards the sky. Maybe pull your biceps down so that they're resting, or actually your triceps. Your triceps are resting on the back of the mat, but if that's too much tension for your strap, then definitely you can have your arms extended instead. If you find that the length of the hamstring is too much, then let your heel come closer towards the bottom end of the mat versus forcing the toes up higher. Feel yourself drop the tailbone down, reach through the heel, engaging the quad just so that you can protect your kneecap versus hyperextending the kneecap. And if this feels good to you, then you can go ahead and lift and float that left heel off the mat for additional strength. But if you need something more gentle this morning, then just let this left leg hang out at the bottom end of the mat. Take a full breath in here, letting that breath go. Each time feeling a little longer or heavier through the hamstring and the tailbone. We're just here, a couple more inhales. And at any point that you want to flex the foot a little more and draw the toes closer towards your head, as long as it feels comfortable, that's fine. But just know that you're gently releasing the fascia and the connective tissue, so you're not engaging the muscles so that they're not doing the work. Take a full breath in here and let that breath go. Now, when you're ready, hold on to your strap with your right hand. Take your left hand out towards that left side. Draw a breath in. And as you exhale, open this right leg over towards the right side of the room. Keep it as long as possible. Obviously, your heel can reach down towards the bottom of the mat. If you've lifted the left hip up to allow that right leg to rest on the mat, instead take a blanket or a pillow. Rest your right leg on it instead of forcing that left hip to lift up. So keep that left hip down if at all possible. Draw a full breath in. Let that breath go. You're welcome to take that gaze over towards your left side if that's more comfortable for your neck. Maybe allowing the length of this right arm to gain a little stretch through the neck as you look to the left and as you release the shoulder away from the ear. If you have that left heel hovering, you can definitely drop it down, but if you like it hovering, then that's fine as well. 2 more inhales here, opening up through the inner thigh and then that external rotation of the hip. Last breath in and that breath out. On your next inhale, dragging this right foot back to center, grab your strap with that left hand, release your right hand to that right side, and exhale, cross this right leg over towards the left side. You're slowly stacking that right hip on top of the left, and you're gently releasing both the right and the left shoulder blades down on the mat as you turn your head towards the right side. Your leg does not have to be at a perfect 90-degree angle. It can be greater than or less than. Try to release or relax that left knee. That leg might be slightly bent as you gently allow the hip flexor on this right side to decompress. 2 more inhales here. And 1 more big breath in here. And let that breath go. When you're ready, take your time, looking back up towards your ceiling. Drag this right leg back up towards center. Open the strap up, pull that left knee in towards your belly, step that left foot in with your right. And then from here, release that right leg out. Bend that left knee, hold onto the strap, just allow your right leg to extend. Couple of ankle circles with that right foot, with the foot inside the strap. It's okay, each direction. And then now when you're ready, inhale, extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Hold onto your strap however you see fit for yourself. Maybe flex that right foot and lift the heel off the mat if you went that route. If you're squeezing your little pinky toe in the strap, see if you can adjust it to where it's not crushed in there. It might be folding the strap just a tiny bit. And then also make sure that you have the strap around the ball of the foot, not the arch of your foot. You definitely don't want to cause any discomfort or any strenuous movement for the arch of the foot. All those small tendons through that area. Let your left hip relax. Feel your heel on this left leg extending away from the body, maybe reaching up either to the ceiling or maybe even towards the bottom end of the mat as you steadily hold your arms in place and this leg stays still. If you're pressing the kneecap firmly, see if you can just soften it just so that you can protect your knee joint. Take 2 more inhales here. 1 last big breath in. And then hold on to the strap with your left hand. Right arm goes out to the right side. However you need to adjust this left leg, go for it. But then exhale, open this left leg out towards that left edge of the room. Again, keep that right hip down. And if your left heel touches the ground and that hip is up, bring it up slightly. Maybe you have the wall or your couch or something that can anchor it momentarily so that it's assisting you in some of the work. You're still gaining that length, you're still releasing, but you're also allowing yourself a little bit more rest with the props that are around you. Take 2 more inhales here. You can look over towards that right side. Feel the length of the neck as the shoulder releases away from the ear. And then that last inhale here. Let that breath go. Inhale, look back up towards the ceiling. Drag this left foot back to center. Switch the grip. Right hand holds onto the strap. Left hand goes out to the left side. And now exhale, stacking the hips over towards that right side. Bend and soften that right knee as best as you can. Maybe even curl the heel towards the body if that feels good. Try to keep both the right and the left shoulder blade down on the mat. And the gaze can be wherever it feels right for you. A little more intense, it's going to be over to the left side. A little less intense, it may be directly up towards the ceiling or even to the right side. Two more inhales here. One more big breath in. Softness through your abdomen. And then only when you're ready, looking up towards the ceiling, drag this left foot back up towards the sky. Spread the strap open, step that right foot in, hold onto the strap. Maybe your feet are about hip width distance, and then you'll slowly begin to reach the heels up towards the ceiling. You can have a soft bend of the knees if that feels better for you. Drop the tailbone down, maybe press through the edges of the strap if that feels good to engage, but if that's too much, just let it be more relaxed. Wiggle those toes if you'd like, or whatever feels best for you. You're only here. One more breath in. And that breath out. Slowly begin to release the strap. Bend those knees into your chest. Strap goes out to the side. Rock your frame right side to left side. And then if you'd like, you can place your hands on your kneecaps and trace circles in the sky in one direction, massaging that low spine. And then switch it to the opposite direction when you're ready. All on your breath in time. You'll slowly begin to release that right leg and that left foot to the top or the bottom end of your mat. Work your heels all the way over towards that right side. Cross that right ankle over the left, and then inhale, both the right and the left arm go over your head, and you start to work your ribs and your frame over towards that right side. You're welcome to grab your right wrist or your left wrist, whichever feels most comfortable for you. And then if you need a little more intensity, you'll gaze over to the right side, or at least let your cheek fall over to the right side. You should find that expansion and that opening through the left side of the body. And if it's too much, then let your arms rest to your sides or letter T style formation instead. Breath in and that breath out. Another full breath in here. And releasing that breath. Trying to open up through the hip flexors, the side of the body. As you take your next breath in, your arms release. They come back down towards center. You walk your frame back towards alignment. Release that right ankle from the left. Walk your feet back towards center, and then exhale. Take your feet over towards that left side of the room unless you need any small adjustments to find comfort for your body. Cross that left leg over the right ankle. Walk your body top portion over towards that top left corner. Hold on to whichever wrist feels best for you. Try your best to relax the back, the side of the body as it opens up. Deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out of the nose. If you feel like your shoulders are pulling up towards your ears, gently nudge them back down. You've got one more breath here. Letting that breath go. Now when you're ready, return your spine, top portion back to center, walking the frame back. Release that left ankle from the right. Walk both the right and the left heel towards center. Inhale, extend your arms over your head, and then exhale, soles of your feet come to the mat, untucking that tailbone. Take your time as you gently guide those knees in towards your body, lifting your back off the bed, curling into a small bowl. Or a small ball, not a bowl. Small ball as you gently allow the chin to come close to the chest, either rocking side to side or back and forth, all on your breath in time, rolling either to one side or rocking back and forth. We'll work our way into a tabletop position. As we find ourselves in tabletop position, we'll begin to shimmy those hips right side to left side, finding that fluidity, that movement through the lower portion of your body. And then come back to center. As we return to center, big toes kiss, knees go as wide as you'd like, sit the hips towards the heels, and then bow your chest down as you slide your palms towards the top of the mat. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, bow your body down as best as you can here. Take a full breath in, feel your back expand, feel the sides of the ribs and the lungs opening up, as well as the front portion. And then exhale, let everything fall back down into place. You're here just one more breath in. And that breath out. As you take your next breath in, palms press into the ground, you begin to slide your hands back towards your body so that they're stacked in line with your shoulders, knees in line with the body, toes curl under. And as you exhale, shift the weight of your feet back. Maybe lift your knees up just an inch or so, and then slide the heels even further back to stretch the calves a little bit more, as well as the bottom of your feet. Take a breath in, looking forward. And as you exhale, you can roll the toes out towards the edges of the mat. Inhale, coming back to center. Press through the big toe knuckles. Sit the hips towards the heels as best as you can. Inhale, looking forward. Maybe release some of the weight. And then exhale, send the little pinky toes back out towards the edges of the mat. Inhale, lifting up. Toes roll back in. Exhale, let the weight of the body anchor into the big toe. Inhale, looking forward. Last time the little toes roll out to the edges. And then inhale, big toes come back in, or the heels click back towards one another. As you take your next breath in, slide the weight of the body forward, lift your feet a couple of circles with your ankles and maybe the toes crack or whatnot. And then place the tops of your feet onto the mat, patting the top of the feet onto the earth so that you can bring back that sensation. Pausing there, curl those toes under. And as you inhale, pull your shoulders back, retracting as you drop the chest down, lifting the heart up for cow pose. On your exhale, press your feet into the mat. Dome your spine, cat it up, chin goes towards the chest. Inhale, cow pose. Stay strong through the core so you're still having that connectivity in that abdomen. And then exhale, draw the navel towards the spine like somebody's punching you in the belly. So you're lifting up or you're avoiding the punch. And one more inhale, lift the chest up. And then exhale, dome that spine back. As you take your next breath in, neutralize your spine. And as you neutralize that spine, lift your right hand off the mat, a few circles with that right wrist in each direction just to bring fluidity. And then place the back of your hand close to your kneecap. And as you exhale, you'll slide the weight of the body back. It doesn't have to be a ton of weight. It's just enough so that you feel the sensation. Your fingers can stay spread open nice and wide, or if you prefer, bring your fingers towards your thumb. That brings a little more sensation. Again, if it's too much, don't do it. As you take your next breath in, slide the weight forward, release that right wrist off the ground, a few circles to bring back that blood flow, and then take your hand, spin it so that your fingers point towards your knee, but your thumb points out towards that right edge. Breath in and then exhale, send the weight of the body back. The heel of the hand can lift up, that's perfectly fine, or you can keep it down if you prefer. There may be a soft bend in your elbow. Maybe that you want to rock side to side or even a couple of circles in one direction. And you can always switch the direction of the circles if that feels fine with you. And then inhale, return back to center. Release that right hand, bring back that blood flow as you bring circulation. Place that right palm down, lift the left one, a few circles with that left wrist. Back of the hand comes down to the mat, close to your knee. Thumb is pointing towards the middle or towards that right side of the mat. Fingers can come towards you or they can stay displayed open if you prefer. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Any movement is okay. One more breath in and that last breath out. And then inhale, slide forward, release that left hand, a few circles, and then flip it. Take the palm down to the mat, thumb out to that left edge as you send the weight of the body back. As you release through the wrist, through the palm, the hands, maybe even the forearms, all of these little things are attached to the neck and the shoulders as they trail down from that vertebrae or from the cervical spine. So when we run, sometimes we clench all of that up and then that causes a chain reaction in the rest of our body. So hopefully a little bit of this release will feel well. When you're ready, releasing, sliding forward, lift that left hand, a few circles in each direction. Place that left palm down, all on your breath in time. As you inhale, bring the knees together, tuck your left toes under, and then inhale, that right leg goes back and out. Slide the weight of the body back, anchor the toes or the ball of the foot down to the mat. Imagine somebody is taking their fist and about to punch your belly, and so you tuck your chin towards your chest and you dome your spine up, protecting your navel. Go ahead and rock back and forth to release the calf muscle and definitely feel that link through the hip flexor or the front portion of the thigh. And then all on your breath and time, inhale, pause, and then exhale, send the weight of the body back. Release the tucking as you inhale and look forward, letting that breath go. As you take your next breath in, slide the weight of the body forward, lift and float that right foot, cross it over towards the left side. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, pressing your right hip over towards that right edge of the mat. As you press to that right edge of the mat, take a full breath in. Let that breath go. Another big giant breath in. Letting that breath go. As you take your next inhale, look forward, slide this right foot all the way around towards this right edge, align that left knee, send the left foot over towards the right side, and then begin to rock back and forth. As you rock back and forth, just notice what's going on with that glute hamstring attachment, or maybe even your adductors. Depending on how tight that hammy is, you might notice sensation in different places. But when you're ready, you'll exhale, send the weight of the body as far back as you can, keeping this right leg nice and long, and then releasing your chest down. You'll feel the inner thigh, hopefully, but if you have, like I said, other things going on with your body, that might not be where you're feeling the sensation. And I only speak from personal experience because I know that's where I should feel it, but that's not where it's at. Big breath in. Big breath out. And if you'd like to extend your right hand towards that right leg, maybe that lets the inner thigh get that length, then you definitely can send that right hand somewhere towards your right leg. Just avoid your knee so that you're not pressing pressure into the knee. You can always hang on or massage the IT band if that feels better, or even massage the back of your hamstring or even that adductor, the inner thigh. You'll feel that ropiness if it's really tight in your body. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. You've got one more breath in and breath out. When you're ready, if you have your right hand towards that right side, bring it back down to center. Inhale, we'll lift our body up, sliding your right foot towards the mat, the edge of it, stepping it towards the top end of the mat. Frame that right foot with both your right and your left hand. Once you frame that foot with your right and your left hand, top of that left foot is down on the ground. And then on our inhale, we'll rise up. As we rise up, both arms reach up towards the sky. Draw a breath in and then exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Lift your chest up. Inhale, the arms reach up. When you're ready, we'll release both the right and that left hand on that right quad. Then from here, exhale, lean into it. And as you lean into it, feel yourself pull the belly back up and in. You'll feel it more through that hip flexor. If you're able to dome your spine, relax the shoulders away from the ears though. So it all should feel somewhat controlled, but it may not feel all controlled. Breath in here and that breath out here. Two more, breath in and breath out. Last one, keep pulling the belly in towards the spine and then release. On your next breath in, circle sweep those arms back up towards the sky. On our exhale, we'll release our hands to frame this left foot. Send the weight of the body back, begin to straighten your right leg. You might need to walk that left knee back just a tiny bit, just so that you can adjust the hips. Again, if your hamstring is really, really tight, it may be that you need to elevate your frame, maybe placing something to your sides. Or if it feels better for you to drag the heel towards your body and then rest your hips on that left heel, then you can always rest your hips on that left heel. If you have the strap and you want to use the strap around the ball of the foot, then you can place that strap around the ball of the foot and lift your chest up if that's more preferential for you. We're all a little bit different, so I always like to give you those options to find the place where your body is filling the needs that it craves. Just make sure nothing feels bad. That's the only thing, right? Take a full breath in here. Bow the chest down if you can. Two more, breath in. And as always, you can stay where you're at a little longer. Don't let me move you faster than you're willing to move. Last inhale here. And that exhale here, just bow it down as much as you can, maybe even round the spine, tuck the chin towards the chest. You might notice the length of the hamstring is slightly different when you do that versus when you tilt your chin towards your toes. All on our breath and time, fingertips are to our sides. Since we're all back, we'll stay back. Gently begin to rebend that right knee back in towards its place. And as that right knee bends, extend and slide that right foot behind you. As you extend it behind you, lift it in a few circles for mobility of the hip joint in each direction. And then from here, curl your curl your left toes over towards the left edge of the mat, extend that right leg behind you, lift that right arm up towards the sky, right fingertips then come towards the top end of your mat. As you take your next breath in, the arms reach up, lifting that right foot off the ground, curling the heel towards your body. Find that length for your quad, for your hip flexor, and then pull your shoulder blades together. And if you can't reach it, maybe today you grab that little strap and you can start with it in the position that it's normally not in and then grab it. That might feel good. Good. Nice work. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. One more breath in and breath out. If you're holding onto your strap, gently take your time releasing it. Move it from the foot. Release and extend that right foot. Rotate the hips back around. Then bring the knee back into place for that tabletop position. Shimmy those hips right side to left side. As you take your next breath in, drop the belly down, cow pose. And as you exhale, dome that spine, cat it up. One more, inhale, cow pose. Exhale to cat it back up. And then inhale, neutralize. As we neutralize, we're slowly going to lift the heels, lift our feet off the mat, pull those elbows in and lower all the way down to the ground. As we lower all the way down to the ground, fingertips go beyond our mat, either palms down to the ground or fingertips tint up, but we'll inhale, rise up for a little cobra. We'll exhale, release and lower back down. Inhale, lift up for that modified cobra. Keep the shoulder blades together so they're squeezing behind our body. So they're allowing those erectors to release. Drop your right shoulder down to the middle. Keep that erector squeezing it up and in, or the shoulder blade, so that you can look to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, that left one goes down now. Pull the shoulder blades towards one another. You might feel it more so on one side than the other. And then inhale, coming back to center. We'll exhale, release the frame back down towards the ground, walk our feet towards one another, lift our hands, placing them by our breastbone, curling our elbows in, shrugging our shoulders back. Inhale, plank on those knees to exhale, child's pose. As we come into that child's pose, you can take those knees out as wide as you'd like or keep them narrow if that feels better. Take a breath in, feel the upper portion of your back lift up and round, maybe even hollowing out your armpits. And then exhale, drop and bow it all back down. On your next inhale, rise back up into tabletop. As you come into tabletop, this time you'll go ahead and tuck your right toes under, and then inhale, that left leg is going to go behind us. Slide the weight of the body back, drop the ball of that foot down to the mat. Once you drop it down to the mat, tuck your chin towards your chest, pull your navel up towards your spine like you're protecting your belly button from getting hit. Feel that length. Begin to rock back and forth so you're sliding the heel up and back, finding length through the calf, the hammy. Hip flexors releasing. And then inhale, exhale, send the weight back so that you can really lengthen through that hamstring and the calf. One more breath in and one more breath out. Then inhale, look to the top of your mat, lift and float that foot off the ground. Cross this left leg over towards your right side, squeezing your thighs. You'll exhale, look over your right shoulder, press your left hip away. Two more inhales right here. One more big breath in. And then from that position, inhale, looking back towards the top of your mat. You'll begin to slide the foot directly behind you and then all the way over towards that left side. So that left foot is extended. Palms are down on the mat. Once your palms are down on the mat, begin to rock back and forth. So you're allowing that length through the inner thigh. You're slowly curling that right heel towards that center portion of the body or to the left. And then when you're ready, exhale, begin to work the weight of the body down. Keep the blade of your left foot anchored into the mat if possible. And if not, then you might want to soften it. Again, feel that inner thigh lengthen. You can take that left hand to that left leg or massage the IT band or maybe even the inner thigh if you prefer, a combination of both. We also have that tender spot that's maybe from your kneecap, if you were to take your thumb to the inner portion of it, maybe about an inch or two above. Sometimes that's a little trigger point spot. But if that's not where you want to go today, just bow down, just rest. Try to relax that right hip as much as you're releasing that left inner thigh. 2 more inhales here. One more big breath in. Letting that one go. Releasing your hand if it's on this left leg, palms come back down to the mat. Inhale, we rise back up. As we rise up, slide this left foot towards the edge of your mat and then step that left foot in between your right and your left hand or take that left hand out. Adjust the stance, align the ankle and the knee, and then everything else will inhale, begin to lift and rise up. You can always take your hand to the quad if that feels better for steadiness. Inhale, we reach all the way up. Pull that right hip forward, left hip back, and then exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Top of your right foot is down on the mat if possible. Inhale, arms reach up, and then exhale, palms come to that left quad. Draw the navel towards the spine, hunch your back around it so that you can push that right hip forward as you exhale that breath. You should feel it all along this front quad on the right side. Soft shoulders, they typically tend to lift up towards those ears, especially when we're taking this rounding movement. So if you prefer to place your hands around the hamstring or around the kneecap, then that's okay, but the quad works just as fine as well. 2 more inhales here. Continue to squeeze the glute. So I know we're activating that glute so that we can get this hip flexor to release for us. 1 more inhale here. Letting that breath go. Soften the glute, and on our next breath in, circle sweep the arms back up towards the sky. Soften that right glute. Exhale, your hands will come down. They'll frame that left foot. Shift the weight of the body back. And if you need to take your time going back and forth, you can. Or if you know you're working the hips all the way to that right heel, then slide your left heel back. Work your weight all the way down if you'd like, or stay halfway lifted. Try taking your strap if you'd like, placing it around the ball of your foot. Breath in. And then that exhale will let you fold forward with or without the strap. You don't necessarily need it. You can always just place your hands to the sides of your left leg and bow your chest down. If you want to wiggle the toes, you can. If you want to point the toes up or flex them, it's up to you. Notice what's happening as you gently begin to breathe in and lift up slightly. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and bow your chest down. You can also tuck that chin towards your chest if you feel it differently. Some people will notice if they tuck their chin towards their chest and dome their back, they might notice it in a different area versus if you have a flat back and you push the hip back and bow your chest down. So maybe the difference is either looking at your toes or looking at your belly button or where your belly button might be. 2 more inhales where you're at. Last breath in. And that last breath out. Only when you're ready, inhale, begin to rise, sliding the fingertips by your breastbone. If that strap is necessary for our next pose, make sure it's handy, but lift your hips up, rebending that left knee. As we rebend that left knee, we'll slowly slide that left foot behind us. Left knee lifts up in a few circles with it in one direction, and then the opposite direction. And then return the knee back down to the mat, wiggle those hips. Side plank as we hook our right toes to the right edge of the mat, so we're on our knee, and then extend and straighten that left leg behind us. If you know you need the strap, go ahead and place that strap around the ball of your left foot. Step it back, lift the foot, inhale, the arm can reach up. When you're ready, lift and float the leg off the ground, curling the heel in towards the body with or without your strap. Grab it. The strap usually helps. Take a breath in. Let that breath go. Send the kneecap away. 1 more inhale. And that exhale. And then when you're ready, without slingshotting or popping yourself, release the strap, let it go. Palm comes down. Rotate those hips, knees come back into that tabletop position, wiggling them side to side. We'll curl all 10 toes underneath and lift our knees off the mat and tilt up for downward facing dog so that we can release the hamstrings and that low back. March or paddle your feet out, bending that right knee, straightening the left, switching it out back and forth. Take a quick scan. Notice what's going on from the toes to the heels, from the ankles through the calves, from the knees, around the front and the back sides of the thighs and the quads until you reach your hip points. And then exhale, find stillness here. Continue to travel down your spine. So from the low back down to the shoulder blades, can you release or unhinge the shoulders from the ears? Let your head get heavy. Take one more breath here. Let that breath go. As you take your next breath in, lift your right leg off the mat just a couple of inches. Take that big toe, middle toe, hook it on the left Achilles tendon. Slide that toe down towards the ankle or the Achilles, and then drop that left heel down if it feels okay. If you need to shorten your stance, walk your hands towards your foot just a tiny bit. Big breath in, big breath out. As you take your next breath in, release, drop that right foot down, lift that left foot up. Big toe, middle toe, hook on that right Achilles tendon. Once more, sliding the toes if it's closer up. Drop that right heel down, feel that length of breath in and that breath out. Go ahead and release. Left foot goes back down. Breath in, breath out. As you take your next breath in, lift that right leg up once more. And as you exhale, right foot comes behind that right wrist. Ankle on this right leg goes behind the left wrist, creating that perpendicular or somewhat perpendicular to the mat with your right leg. Drop that left knee down and then walk or shimmy that left leg back until the top of your left foot is down on the mat. Lift up in this prideful pigeon, and always, if this is too much, come onto your back instead. You can take figure 4 on your back. Draw a breath in. If you need to support your right glute, take something to lift it up. But when you're ready, exhale, bow it down. As much of your belly, of your chest that you can release on the shin bone or on the calf, you'll feel that length a little bit more. But once more, if this is too much, come onto your back, cross that right ankle over the left quad instead, and then interlace the hands and wrap them around that left hamstring. If you can flex your right toes for me, that would be great. Protects the knee. The further you can release, let yourself bow down. Two more inhales here. One last big breath in. And you'll let that breath go. All on your breath in time, lifting up, your palms come towards your body. Slowly begin to drop your right cheek or your right bum towards that right side. Cross this left leg around and over. If it's too much for your right leg, you can always extend that right leg, but if you can, drape your right arm around this left leg, drop that left cheek down to the ground, twist it out as you look over your left shoulder. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go as the shoulders drop down. One more breath in. And then let that breath go. As you take your next breath in, counter twist it. Both right and the left hand come towards that right side as you release your low back. And then inhale, looking forward, slide the weight of the body back. You'll extend that right leg, extend that left leg, and then slide the heels out towards the corners or beyond the edges of your mat. Lift your hips up as much as you can. Wiggle the body side to side. Draw a breath in, shoulders pull back and down, and then exhale. Take a wide-legged forward fold while you're seated here. So then begin to bow your chest down. A normal thing occurs here, like we'll have that internal rotation. So that means your toes, your knees, your thighs turn in. See if you can keep the knees and the toes pointing directly up towards the ceiling instead. But if you find that that internal rotation feels better for whatever reason, whether there's something that's releasing on the hamstring or the low back, then you can definitely go that route. But if you can, trying to release the inner thighs as well. The knees pointing up and the toes pointing up will assist in that as well. Breath in and that breath out. 2 more, breath in and out. And then that last one, draw it in nice and full. Let your belly expand, pull the shoulders away from your ears and let it go. Maybe bow down another inch or so. Soft bend of the knees. And now if you want the toes to fall inward or towards the midline, let them. As you take your next inhale, press the palms into the mat. Walk the weight of the body towards you so that your fingers come towards you. Bend that right knee, bend that left knee. Soles of your feet come together in that butterfly formation. Walk your pelvic floor closer towards the heels for a more active. Wrap your hands around the blades of your feet. Lift up through your chest. Draw a breath in. And then as you exhale, bend those elbows. And as you bend those elbows, let your arms rest either on the thighs or maybe allow it to open up the inner thighs a little bit more. If that's too aggressive, release and work your toes forward instead. Take a breath in, letting that breath go. Last 2. That last one. Only on your time, rising up, sliding your hands out to the edges of your thighs, sliding your feet forward if you need to. Soles of the feet come to the mat, hands are behind you, windshield wiper those legs, right side to left side. Maybe massage or allow that trigger point of the piriformis as you roll to one side and then the opposite. And then only when you're ready, work your way back down onto all fours. So releasing the knees down to the mat, come into that tabletop. If there's any movement that you need before you work your way into downward dog, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, toes tuck, knees lift, tip the heels up for downward dog. And now inhale, left leg goes up. And as you exhale, left knee goes behind that left wrist. You cross the ankle over to the right side, flexing that left foot. Your right knee releases to the mat as you walk your toes towards the back until the top of your foot is in line with the leg and with the hip. Draw a breath in. And only when you're ready, you'll exhale, bow it down. Once more, support the frame. If you need a blanket or something to lift up this left hip, use it. Could be a block. A block might be too much for you, but find what does work. Surrender it all here. Try to settle the abdomen down towards this leg. And as time progresses or your breath increases in length, you might be able to release that prop and work the weight a little further down. Or it may be that yours is really, really tight and you're unable to do that at this moment, and that's okay. Honor that. Last 2 inhales here. Last big breath in. On your time, palms to the mat, lift the head up, walk your hands to the body, slide this left hip to the left side, sweep this right leg around and over. As that right leg comes around and over, drop that left and right glute down to the mat, drape your left arm around the right one, squeeze or wring the belly out, and then exhale, looking over that right shoulder. Take a breath in, letting that breath go. And then counter twist. Look over towards that left side. Left and right hand are to the left side of your body now. And then inhale, neutralize. As we neutralize, shift the weight back. Extend right and left leg forward. Anchor through the sits bones, a soft bend of the knees. Inhale, both arms reach up. Soft bend of those knees. If I didn't say it, I'm saying it again. And as you exhale, bow down. Fold the heart forward. Maybe with the strap, you hold onto the feet. Or maybe you just allow your hands to rest to your sides. A breath in and that breath out. One more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale to release. And then all on your breath and time, inhale, rising up. And as we rise up, Bending the knees, sliding onto our backs as we tuck those knees into our chest. Arms cactus or T out. And as we exhale, drop your knees over towards the right side of the room. Looking to that left side. A breath in through this soft twist and a breath out. You take your next breath in, we'll come back to center, and then we'll exhale, release our knees over towards the left side. We can look over towards that right side as we rest our left hand on this right thigh. Last inhale here. And that exhale. Inhale, returning to center. Knees come in towards your body. Your head can lift off the mat as you give yourself a big, giant squeeze. On our breath in, we'll release, allowing those legs to extend for just 3 inhales and 3 exhales for our restful state. Heels are to the edges of the mat, toes fall softly, arms are open to our sides. Begin that breath work now. Full breath in. Open mouth sigh, let it go. Finalizing that last breath in and that last breath out. You'll begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing the soles of the feet down to the mat, rolling over to one side, and then letting yourself rise up into a comfortable seat if you're ready, or staying right where you're at. As you rise up, just take a quick moment to settle into the space, to breathe in through the nose, to let your hands rest where they're comfortable. And as you exhale, bow yourself down. We bow ourselves down, give grace, give gratitude for the being and the time that you allotted yourself this morning. From my heart to yours, namaste and happy new year to both of you. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. All right, ladies, y'all have a good one. I'll see you next week, okay?
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.